up, y'all? Happy New Year. I am literally sitting on the edge of this chair because I am so excited about everything that's gonna happen in 2020. I've already claimed it. I already know it's going to happen for me and for you. If you want to get into a little bit of goal setting and what I got going on this year and what I got planned on doing this year and some advice and tips that I think that you should implement to make sure you accomplish everything you want to accomplish this year, stay tuned. So it's 2020 and we are just about 3 days in right now, and I am super excited. Everybody is super excited. New year, new them, all that good stuff. You know, you see all these goals and recaps, and girl, like, everybody is just super excited about the new year. But today I wanted to get into what I have going on for 2020, or what my plans are for 2020, how I pretty much set up my goals to make sure that I am winning in 2020, and some tips I have for you to make sure you are doing the same. First things first, I think it is super important to go over your previous year's progress to see what it is that you made some mistakes on. What things that you do that you could learn from, what were your areas of strengths and what were your areas of weaknesses. And for me, I like to kind of start off with the things that your girl didn't do so right. One of those things I talked about in this tips for new bloggers videos, and you can check that out right here if you're interested in that. But that thing is discipline. I lacked discipline a lot this year. That discipline ultimately affected my consistency, especially here on YouTube. I think it is so important to be able to push past your feelings and still get things done. Sometimes we get in this space where it's like, listen, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. But oftentimes when you're trying to make strides and you're trying to be successful and you're trying to accomplish big things, you got to take your feelings out of the mix, especially when money is involved. Okay. Sometimes you will have to operate solely on discipline to do those things that you might not necessarily want to be doing, the things that might be tedious, the things that you might just loathe. Okay. But sometimes those type of things are required in order to move your business forward. So this year, one of the things that I definitely know I need to improve upon, and that is my discipline. Now, something that I did really, really well this year was exposure. I think I did a pretty good job at getting myself out there, right? Making sure that new people knew about me and what it is I do. I think one of the biggest ways that I did that was here on YouTube. Despite my not being consistent or disciplined, I think I did pretty good, to have the consistency that I did have. I grew this channel to over 10,000 subscribers in just a little over a year. So I'm not too disappointed with that. I had opportunities to speak at conferences and local events. I grew my Instagram. So I think that I did a pretty decent job with just making sure I'm exposed to more people each and every year, because the more people that you expose yourself to or that access your brand, you can make more money. So I'm pretty happy with how I did in the exposure and marketing department. Now, after I've gone over the previous year, I like to go ahead and put that on in the past and finally move on to planning for the current year. So what I like to do to go ahead and get started planning for 2020 is to write down my goals. I write those goals down manually, going step by step, breaking each one of them down to make sure they're measurable. And then I also like to keep them in front of my face. And one of the ways I like to do that is through vision board. After I write down those goals, I like to create a vision board to keep me reminded of those goals on a daily basis. Soon, in a couple of weeks here, you will see me transform this desk space, and I'm gonna put my vision board, which I've already made, and I will go over my goals later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. You'll see this vision board make its way up here on this wall so that I see it on a regular basis and I know exactly what I want to accomplish and how I'm going to make that happen. And after I write down those goals, I like to then break them down into subcategories. So for instance, if one of my top goals is to grow my YouTube channel, underneath that I will put, what do I need to do daily to make sure I accomplish this goal? What tools do I need to make sure this happens? Who do I need to become to make this happen? Because let's be real, sometimes you just not are who you need to be in order to allow a goal to come to pass. So for instance, if your character is not in the place it needs to be for you to get to a certain place, maybe you need to work on that. You know, maybe it's your loyalty, maybe it's how you're speaking about yourself, how you're speaking about others, how you view your business, how you view certain things. So sometimes a lot of it can be inner work that we need to do. Maybe I need to listen to more motivational messages. Maybe I need to start studying my niche a lot more, or maybe I need to get better at marketing, or whatever it is. So if you want to be a speaker, maybe you need to speak more. Maybe you are not putting yourself in a place to where people can find you and see that you have that ability to speak. Maybe go out in your community and speak at local events and local shelters and things like that, so that people know that you have that talent. So as I write the goal, I like to break them down into subsections so that I know what I need to do to make sure that goal is accomplished at the end of the year. Now, after I've made a pretty fancy, girl, a vision board, I like to go ahead and commit to those goals. I like to commit to myself that these are my goals. They are flexible. They are definitely can be changed if I see fit, but I am going to pretty much commit to 3 strong goals that I want to accomplish in that year. Now, once I commit that to myself, then I tell somebody else about it. I tell my accountability partner, my business partners, my friends, or whoever understands, whatever it is that I'm doing. Depends on the goal that I'm setting. So that's why I'm not saying a specific person, because if it's a personal goal, maybe you want to tell your spouse, your mom, whoever you have in your life about that. But if it's a business goal, I have my particular people about that. If you do not have anybody, especially when it comes to business, to share these goals with, because a lot of times we don't have those people, right? It's kind of rare, especially if you're doing online business, to have those people in your life. For me, I have found that accountability groups and business groups have been so helpful. I'm talking about so pivotal. For me, it has been so pivotal. I think that accountability is everything, and having that support and just having a community of other women that understand and that get it, I think that is everything. Then I believe that you should assess those goals. So make up a schedule of how often are you going to measure those goals. Are you going to measure them once a month? Are you going to measure them by quarter? Are you going to measure them mid-year? Last year, I actually did a mid-year review video. I'll link that up here if you're interested in seeing it. And I pretty much just talked about where I was with my goals, what was going good, what was going bad, what I needed to work on. And I found that having that mid-year review was very, very helpful for me, because it allowed me to buckle down in areas that I wasn't doing so good in, you know what I'm saying? And get me to the point to where I accomplished all of my goals last year except for one thing. And then that thing that I did not accomplish is currently on the books and on the goals for this year. You'll see it here on my vision board. And I'm super excited about that as well. So without further ado, let's get into these goals, girl. First things first, talking about that one goal that I did not hit in 2019 that I want to make sure that I accomplish this year. It's going to be right here. Let me zoom this in a little bit more. Hey girl. The thing that I did not accomplish is going to be right here. And that's going to be my digital resource library. What that's going to be is a space where I create ebooks and downloadables and master classes about all the things that you guys ask me about, and you will be able to access them anytime in the year without hopping in my DM, asking me about something, whatever. You can just go here and there'll be affordably priced digital content pieces. I'm trying. Oh, wait. Get out of my grill. On my grill, girl. You on my grill. Y'all, I'm sorry. That's how I act sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this out because girl, Scruggle Bus. It's because this is so big. This is so, okay, wait. This is too much. Hold on, I'll be right back because this ain't working. Hold on, girl. So yeah, those are the goals for 2020. I am super excited about this year and everything is to come. And I have a question. What do you have planned for 2020? Give me one thing, one good thing that you're super excited for down in the comments below. Tell me. I want to know. Share it with me, girl. I'm sharing all my business, okay? Let your girl know. If you like this video, like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.